Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So that's why I say watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. we love Jah. We love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
We love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve our people.
Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I say, watch a man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare a window way. Prepare a window way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime.
Fight down war and crime.
Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari. Jah
Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
Barring the dirty jaws and underpants stick up in a corner in a Crossgrace house, I would like Major Jassel Barrett, the mouthpiece of them lot, to come out and tell us what did you expect to find at the Crossgrace residence, or what did you really find? Or what the backside hole on a frig round with her? Because Jamaica have many sore foot. We have a sore foot called Melissa. A sore foot that have fresher wound than the Crossgrace old sore foot. After una mash up the computer them, dash away and burn up and destroy the evidence them. 2 years on, una can't disturb with peace. Let me tell you something this morning, Prime Minister PM. MPM, tell you something this morning. If a distraction, if I the handling of Melissa I don't want with it talk about, if I your dismal handling of Melissa, if I your war game with Donald Trump, if I the 150 million US for we getting an insurance, so you're tackling JPS and JPS are charged with a pay way back. If I that you try for distract we from Prime Minister, we have many space in our mouth and mind to talk about whole heap of thing at the one time. So me don't want to come up like with what breaking news is it? What breaking news? In already yet, Debbie? At tomorrow. In already yet at tomorrow. On a wicked liar, wanna try this track we from? What is it that you don't want to talk about? Me gonna come up with this old sore foot this morning, yesterday morning. One did expect to find other than few dirty underwear and dirty clothes. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday tirade of the government trying to play games with us. Don't play games with us. We're not into it. This is really not the time for playing games, government. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning. Welcome. It is Sunday the 28th, a day before my birthday. Can you imagine? I'll be 51 and so young and rosy. I mean, wouldn't you like to be as young as I am at 51? I really mean. Anyway, globalists, when the don't bother come to a stone after me this morning. But morning, everybody, morning. How no do? Thanks for the early birthday wishes, everyone. Morning, morning. Paul Johnson, good morning. Debbie Jarvis TV, good morning. Veteran Wagwan. Laverne, good morning. Jamrack 8766, good morning. Violet Watson. Pamela Acola, good morning. Good morning. Empress Deb. Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, good morning. Good morning. Wanna try for this chat with her? Prime Minister, MPM, come here. Thought on you first, Scott. Where are you this morning? Where your Prime Minister? Because we want to know when them are going to arrest you. For the 100 and odd, 100 and about 48,000 US dollar, where SSL drop off in the empty account, Prime Minister, where you open over NCB. And me here, you sit down and tell Kalila Reynolds some bullshit. After Uno take 14 million our money per month to keep a fraudulent organization afloat. Big Mouth Parlor, come here. There was an argument, Parlor. We heard Mark Golden with it. We can't call him. When we are news, Parlor, we call name. Mark Golden did tell we said him understand said there are people referred further in the SSL Galangin to be charged cow liver mouth Parlor or back a cow mouth Parlor. And you did that they are Blackie. Claudette, we don't know way better than Parlor. I tell him to ask Claudette something. Ask Claudette who prosecute the case. You remember that case in Trelawney where the young man went into the church and shot his stepmother or something of the sort? You remember that case? Ask wicked Claudette. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth before they shut you in your backside whole mouth. Shut your mouth before they shut you in a hit. But ask Claudette, the new DPP, who prosecute that case. Who prosecute that case? That's what you ought to ask Claudette. Hold on there. Claudette! Morning. Morning, Claudette. Morning. Is it that you, Paula, they are stifle you? You didn't would want to bring charges, and Paula, they are stifle. Oh man, we could go PM first. Because they say a big mix up this morning, you know. Want to know, say open mix up. Will they be charging Ryan Strachan, or will the police have any question for Ryan Strachan? He called himself Strawn, but the pronunciation in British Scottish is Strachan. Ryan Strachan. He called himself Ryan Strawn. Will Ryan Strawn be investigated as well? Will Ryan Strachan be investigated as well? Will the Prime Minister be investigated for the 148,000 US dollars where SSL drop off over the Prime Minister, over NCB for the Prime Minister? Uno don't come with it playing. Don't come with it playing, because this can be many things here. Let's look at, all right, what a confusion this morning. Come here, John Crow, Prime Minister. We found some discrepancies. Prime Minister, we're all over the place this morning. Dirty Ken, Pope of Jamaica, Kenneth Richards, the thief in Ken, thief land Ken. Ken will boops out and rob up Miss Blissett. Line up who you feel line up behind. Line up behind the Crosscres, them Ken. Or you want to go behind Zachary? Make we talk on the PM first. PM, we find like a discrepancy. Morning MPM, we find like a discrepancy. You remember the two taxi where you tell me about Prime Minister, where you either never remember about the either 28 or You lie about the 28, or you lost the 28, or you subtract the 28. One of your father find the prime minister. Prime Minister morning, one of your father, PM. PM, one of your father found the rest of your taxi. So we found a discrepancy, Prime Minister, in your argument of your 2 taxi and your one of your father's argument, Prime Minister, about 30 taxes. So maybe 28 lost, forgotten, subtracted, drop off, or we were lied to or misled. MPM. Think today Andrew lion thief. Andrew, you can't escape this SSL, you know. You can't escape this SSL because you can't tell where with the money where SSL drop off over leeching for you. The money laundering where you're involved in a prime minister, you can't escape it. If you could have escaped, you would have talked away from and where it come from.
For those of the viewers, who have not recognized by now, I told you I'm talking to Mr. Maurice Holness. Mr. Maurice Holness is actually the father of our present Prime Minister, Mr. Andrew Michael Holness. How does it feel to be the father of the Prime Minister?
It feels very normal to me because I'm just a father of a son. I accept the responsibility of guiding him, and I'm guiding him as a God-fearing person in the fear of God. And as time went by, he has increased in.
Sir, do not embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Both you advise him in the fear of God. Stop it. Wanna stop it, sir? Why not embarrass yourself? In which God you are talking about? Go and talk here one of the Father.
Got you, and in knowledge and in wisdom and in the fear of God. And it has enhanced his performance. So my role is really to guide him, not in his political thing, but his spiritual life. So that is be better off handling it.
People. In growing up, did you from a young age, did he display the leadership qualities? Was there anything that would have said to you that this is a prime minister in the making?
He loved education. We need to have a reasonable amount of education. As a matter of fact, one of the times when he failed, I think, 1 or 2 subjects in his A level, he came to look for me, and I saw him looking slim and worrying himself. So I told him, don't worry, you're just getting mad each day, so don't worry, just fight back again, and do it all over. But apart from that, he was very entrepreneurial. I was in the pig business, and he was helping me here along with his other siblings. And so that we weren't really making much money. And he said to me one day, Daddy, you have an empty storeroom there. Would you let us make some bag juice and you go and sell them? I said, no matter with that, we'll fight them. And another incident, when he was about to graduate, he came to me and said, could you sponsor me to buy 2 taxis, because I've checked out and from my home to Spanish Town Center, I could get some money. I said to him again, forget that, go ahead and do your levels and then you can come back out and work on. Of course, this taxi business, which he tried to leverage the people, talking about 2 taxis. So he graduated, and when I went to look for him, I said, what you doing? He said, I'm in the taxi business. I said, how is it? I said, I have 30 taxis on the road and somebody will have to come up. But I'm going to get out of the business and go to somewhere else. Okay.
30 taxis on the road, Prime Minister, and some on the wharf to come off. Prime Minister, 30 taxis on the road and some on the wharf to come off, but you told us only 2. Furthermore, Prime Minister, we were concerned of where you get the money from to buy the 2. Now we hear say 30. And where you get the money from? Because you do so much things, Prime Minister. Upon your statutory declaration, you can prove where you take out any loan or mortgage to buy these properties. These properties are built, these properties are these companies. And then just get up off a dot so and flourish. No. Let me address the labor rights then. Missy fan yesterday on our campaign on Facebook. Oh, go and check who the Cascres are connected. I couldn't care. Me so plainly I say the Cascres and Mark Golden are friends. I couldn't care less. Mark Golden is implicated in nothing. Mark Golden is implicated in nothing. The Cascres advised the Prime Minister. 1. 2. Zachary Harding, a former CEO of SSL, was a personal advisor politically to the Prime Minister and financially. Ryan Strawn, though he called himself G2K, was Gene and Panton wealth advisor. So don't mix up Mark Golden in this. Wait until Mark Golden has been implicated in something to do with this. But so far, all the implications here surround the Jamaica Labour Party, one who gave them license to operate after Omar Davis tried to stop them. Jacqueline Lecker was involved in helping them getting back their license, a chief Labour supporter. The Cascres and SSL fund the JLP. These are all facts that you own a Labour right now. You don't feel dizzy. You don't feel dizzy when you go round and round in a circle trying to defend a defenseless Prime Minister. The Prime Minister can't even defend himself. And every day you come out with the embarrassing situation and make yourself look like dunce fool, people who are unable to read, and make yourself look like blatant fool in a public just to protect one criminal. That's all you know. Zachary Harding is the son of Oswald Harding, a former senator and chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party. Ozzy Harding was one of the only two major directors alongside founder Paul Cheng Young, who were significant shareholders in the Eagle Group. You remember the Eagle Group? The same Eagle Group that becomes SSL. When you stop mix up the man, wait until Mark Golden is being implicated. On a draw a name in a head. Zachary Harding later became CEO of Saxon Security Limited, a firm with historical roots to Paul Cheng Young Financial Network. The Cascres and Paul Cheng Young. The Cascres and Paul Cheng Young connection. Hugh Cascres was the chairman of Saxon Security Limited, which was originally founded as Paul Cheng Young and Associates. Cascres and Cheng Young were closely linked during the 90s meltdown. Both were subject of asset freezing orders in Jamaica and Florida following the collapse of the Eagle Merchant Bank and the Crown Eagle Life, entities they previously controlled or associated with. The Eagle Group was a central figure in the 90s financial sector collapse, which ultimately cost the Jamaica government approximately $120 billion, 40% of Jamaica GDP at the time, to bail out depositors and stabilize the system. Labor rights, you understand what I'm reading? That all of this was because of you all? And people who are connected to you, the same people who are still advising and financing you, on a lot of fuckery in our years. The government intervened, led to the creation of FinSAC, the Financial Sector Adjustment Company, which took over failed institutions like Eagle for nominal fee, $1 Jamaican to protect millions of accounts. Paul Cheng Young and his allies consistently argued that the collapse was caused by government policies, specifically high interest rate rather than mismanagement, a debate that persisted through the decades of litigation and FinSAC Commission inquiry. The mention of nothing new under the sun likely refers to the recent SSL fraud emerging in early 2003, where it was revealed that billions included funds belonging to Usain Bolt was missing from the firm once led by Zachary Harding and Hugh Crosby. All of these people who I've just spoken about are people who historically and currently link to the Jamaica Labour Party. Are you all not embarrassed of how much you're all unable to read before you come out and speak open bullshit in public? Good God Almighty. People can dance, but not so. People can be crony, but not so. People can be literally stupid labor rights, but not so. I mean, just so. Good God Almighty, labor rights. Enough of it now, man. What does Mark Golding have to do with this? What, even if Mark Golding and the Crosby them are friends, what does Mark Golding have to do with this? Well, so far, veteran lead the birthday fund. Thank you very much, veteran, for your donation. Thank you very much appreciated. And if anyone else want to join, veteran, the PayPal and Zelle is running at the bottom of the screen. So labor rights, please, for God Almighty's sake, just try and read. It is embarrassing to listen to Uno. God Almighty know. We want to clean up Jamaica and labor rights. But when it comes to Uno mindset, we are hampered. We are hampered labor right by Uno mindset. Because Uno is a card on. Uno is a drawback. Me not answer them on Facebook, Abina, but me know they listen, so I have to set them straight out by us, so I can set them straight better out of my mouth. Because they don't read. So when you write on Facebook, it don't make no sense to them. When you liberate people will go by word of mouth, you see. Liberate people will go by word of mouth. So if you're trying to get through to labor rights, you have to speak it. You cannot write it. If you write it, you're going to fail. I mean, like, fail. Because they don't read. Even the ones who can mumble or count over the words do not understand what they're mumbling or counting over. Because if they have Some of the things that they say in public, they wouldn't say them. God Almighty, labor rights. I mean, we know you all failed Jamal. And if you failed Jamal, but then again, look at Favor. What am I really going on about? Look at Favor. Labor rights to the Guania. We know Favor depend the same team. What on earth then should I expect? PM yan the money. Yan the money, PM. Because to say, if we not two bone out here, so we not talk, but then again, in used to for him corruption.
Now, the other transaction, which
Prime Minister, remember every cent our insurance money will not take. Remember every cent our insurance money will not take and lend JPS. We remember every penny we will not collect in an insurance from concert, from diaspora donations, from international donors. We see and we know if at that we cannot push up SSL in our face so we not talk about it. At TD alone, we go talk about SSL. Our fresh money them we are talking about. Are the fresh teeth in them. We now shift focus to allow to forget away with the new teeth in. You understand? We're stay on point. We are staying on point, Prime Minister. No can't trick we. No. Is this real? If this is real, what held up this for 2 years when it's not that there was a fraud and we don't know who committed it? Jean and Panton go as far as tell us the Crosscres told me to steal on behalf, I was stealing on behalf of the Crosscres who ordered me to steal. So what now? What now? What new? What wanna find new? What come up new now? Whenever did it from January 2023, me could come push up, arrest in front of our face and announce it like a sentiment for glorify and rejoice over. Have you not heard the phrase justice delayed is justice denied, you bunch of bullshit? Have you not heard the phrase justice delayed is justice denied? The money, Prime Minister, the money. The money, Prime Minister, we want to know where the money about.
Now, the other transaction which concerned me was the one where the account was opened at NCB. It was opened with no money.
The money laundering between Lee Chin and Andrew Holness and SSL. Come sue me. Uno come because suing become shut your fucking mouth these days, you know. Suing become you chat too bloody much. That's all lawsuit have now become. Sue me, because I'm not afraid to be sued. You think you're not going to use lawsuit and close my mouth? You'd rather use a bullet. A bullet will be more effective than a lawsuit, you bunch of idiots.
Now, the other transaction which concerned me was the one where the account was opened at NCB. It was opened with no money in it. And I didn't know you could open an account with no money in it. A couple of days later, there was a deposit of a little over $143,000 US, which came from SSL. And in the context of the discussions which we have been having about SSL.
Abina Sarkodie, thank you very much for your birthday donation. Thank you very, very much. Well appreciated.
Now,
the money, Prime Minister, the money laundering, Prime Minister, between you, Lee Chin, and the Crosscres, that we on about this morning. If we now push distraction in our face, Prime Minister, come we talk about the money laundering. Leave the tax evasion aside, Prime Minister, and the illicit enrichment where you can't talk to about. Let us talk about the money laundering, Prime Minister. Explain this. Carl, no, we're not explaining. No. I'll know, Andrew Holness. You can't explain to the Integrity Commission. You can't explain it to Jamaica voters. The money laundering. Yes, it we're talking about.
Now, the other transaction which concerned me was the one where the account was opened at NCB. It was opened with no money in it. And I didn't know you could open an account with no money in it. A couple of days later, there was a deposit of a little over 143,000 US dollars, which came from SSL. And in the context of the discussions which we have been having about SSL, I believe that the Prime Minister needs to address this and explain how and why that money came into his account from SSL. It was deeply concerning to me, and I'm sure that it must be deeply concerning to all the people who not only lost money, but know people who lost money. And you know, the number one concern is what happened to
2 years. 2 years with SSL building robbed or raided and laptop missing and all of that. Millions of our money gone into propping up and keeping SSL afloat. Millions of our taxpayer dollar fight legal challenge over this bullshit. And 2 years later, the government come arrest Croskery with all the evidence from 2003 January. What is new here? Or what is the game here? Or who are you trying to distract? And what are you trying to distract us from? Don't expect us to jump hallelujah over this bullshit. Don't expect us to jump hallelujah over this bullshit. Because if anything come out of it, I'm concerned that the Americans may be involved here. And if the Americans are not involved, this is just a wool being pulled over our eyes. Little more them will come out and tell we say they don't have any evidence to go forward with any charges. What the fuck is it, Claudette? Big head Claudette, where your mouth big like a parlor head. What is it? Because you have been there from time. In a high-profile case like this, we ought to have a press conference from all of those FID and MOCAs and all of these bullshitters. 2 years. 2 years. Justice delay is justice denied. Any evidence, we want to go search for yesterday at dirty jars on our look for. Because the only good thing we could have found in a Hugh Croskery house yesterday was dirty drawers. Anything you seize in a Croskery house yesterday, don't play with us. We are not sleeping. We are not RGR and JB Bloody C. We are not RGR. We're not JBC, and we're not the big underneath Mulvine across the road, that's on either. So don't come out and try to bullshit us and try to shift us off message. We're talking about the 150 million wanna land that currently the 150 million US with Darrell Vaz, Andrew Holness, Favor Williams, and JPS are landed. And that we're concerned about now. The current money laundering of hurricane relief, Prime Minister. The stealing of hurricane resources, Prime Minister. How you have crippled ADPEM, Prime Minister. How you go take up IMF money. How you go sign way over to America and have the War Department and the Foreign Office. The America War Department and Foreign Office are run with country, and them something that we're concerned about. This junkro. I talk about unity in a CARICOM. It's under your tenure, CARICOM divided. It's under your tenure, Andrew Holness that CARICOM was left without a voice. Who is this little junker talking to? Who is Andrew Holness talking to? Oh, no, distract me, you know. We can't talk about all of Andrew Holness, 27 years of stealing at once. We don't have to compartmentalize Andrew Holness stealing. We don't have to compartmentalize Andrew Holness crimes. We can talk about all of them as a package. So don't come and try to distract us. Because
why do taxpayers have to pay for
distraction? No go so. One hope to achieve no. Or have you had the evidence enough to charge him and sitting on it for 2 years? Politically for what? Was it to suit who politically? Or was it that we cannot have the Crosscres so closely linked to us? We cannot be in this involvement with SSL and have them charged before a general election. What on earth is it? Because it is not what happened yesterday. We are sure of that. I am sure of that. There was nothing new that spurred yesterday bullshittery. Nothing new. So what was the game that was being played from January 2023? Listen to these two idiots. Because Kalila Reynolds is as stupid as the Prime Minister, you know. Check yourself for me if it went through. Debbie, check the Zelle for me, please. See if anything comes through from Pamela. Don't try to confuse us. We're not that stupid. We can tell. We can tell. But listen to these two idiots. Because Kalila Reynolds is as stupid as the Prime Minister. Because one of the problems I have with these Jamaica so-called journalists or mouthpiece or so on and so forth, they don't push back on bullshit when it is spoken to them. They just let it fly. And when journalists allow bullshit to fly, then the poor, docile labor right viewers out there take it as gospel. Kalila Reynolds. Or you make the Prime Minister sit down in front of you and tell you so then don't bail out SSL. Keeping SSL afloat, keeping SSL staff there. Yes, it's a form of bailout. Pamela Akola from Stuart, yeah? If it's from Stuart, we have received. Thank you very much. What is it? Listen to Andrew Holness and Kalila Reynolds.
Why do taxpayers have to pay for SSL's criminal operations, quote unquote? How are we being held accountable and not those governing that corrupt entity?
The government of Jamaica will not be in any way taking on.
And throughout this whole answer, I want you to focus on the guilty face or the guilty expressions on the Prime Minister's face. Why this man can lie well. In lie them become so outed now till he have to tell them, but he knows that them now work.
Why do taxpayers have to pay for SSL's criminal operations, quote unquote?
Thanks, Pamela.
How
Thank
are
you
we
very
being
much.
held accountable and not those governing that corrupt entity?
The government of Jamaica will not be in any way taking on any debt of any private institution that has failed. We're not going to bail out any private institution that has failed. We went through FinSAC and we are determined not to repeat that in any way, shape, or form. But the public is also asking.
That's a lie that the Prime Minister told to Kalila. And as a financial journalist, Kalila should have known better. We didn't went through FinSac. We went through the 90s meltdown, the financial collapse. FinSac was not a financial collapse. Let me repeat. FinSac was not the financial collapse. FinSac was the redress to the financial collapse of the 90s, brought on by Edward Seaga, lack of financial policies, and Paul Cheng Young and the Crossgriz tirade over our financial system. That's what Kalila Reynolds should have corrected the Prime Minister. It's the duty of a journalist. But you're just going to make the Prime Minister talk about a lie, Prime Minister. Prime Minister is a lie. The country never went through FinSac. The country went through the financial collapse of the 90s. FinSac was the correction. FinSac, Prime Minister. FinSac was the correction of the 90s collapse. You dull, lying, crooked, corrupt idiot.
Why do taxpayers have to pay for SSL's criminal operations, quote unquote? How are we being held accountable and not those governing that corrupt entity?
The government of Jamaica will not be in any way taking on any debt of any private institution that has failed. We are not going to bail out any private institution that has failed. We went through FinSac and we are determined not to repeat that in any way, shape, or form. But the public is also asking that this matter be thoroughly investigated, and the government made a commitment to thoroughly investigate the matter. It is one of those.
A commitment 2 years too late, Andrew Holness. A commitment 2 years too late. Because if this was a scamming youth in Montego Bay or Westmoreland, we don't need a commitment from the government. Fidmoka and everybody and Sissoko and everybody have them power to investigate. Why when a rich people, the government have to committed to it for investigation done? Or not things are not bitch on a bit around.
Conundrums, because in order for the matter to be thoroughly investigated, even with the FID and with the appointment of a special investigator to deal with this matter, and with the regulatory authorities also supervising. The truth is that we need the staff of SSL to keep the computer systems up and running. We need the staff of SSL to maintain the records.
The Prime Minister said, did you hear? The Prime Minister said, the reason why they have to use with 14 million and $1 billion bill out SSL, then they have to keep the computer them on. And then they have to keep the record them. Prime Minister, if the record are on computer, the investigator can turn them on at any time and access the information. If the record dead, the people them don't have to keep it. It just turn over to the investigators. Prime Minister, that doesn't make no sense, you know. Using our money to bail out SSL just to keep computer turn on. Prime Minister, explain how the party makes sense. Just to keep computer turn on. So, all right, if the computer turn off, the file them go last, Prime Minister. Prime Minister, if the computer turn off, the file them go delete. And if the people them come out of the office, Prime Minister, the record go walk, follow them. You see how much, you see how me tell you to shut your mouth. Because every time you talk, you take up the 2 foot and put it in your mouth one time. With this, how this go? Because we want the computer them to turn on. And we want to keep the record. And that's why we take taxpayer money pay so much. Like serious, Andrew? And you expect to walk and talk back like we're labor right? Can we labor right walk and talk about this idiot? Listen, Andrew, and them something make labor right look like fool, and them people, them something make everybody knows the labor right had done sin the prime minister. Because the labor right them go talk back like you go so. And the labor right them believe you. When you talk the idiot this prime minister, the labor right them believe so you go so. That's why I warn you, so you have to be careful when you open your mouth. Because when you open your mouth, just go on YouTube or on Facebook or on TikTok. They over there and they add to it. Prime Minister, to put you they walk and make up excuse for your thieving. Your thieving where you can't even get explanation for. To put you they walk and make up excuse for it, sir. You talk the idiotness them, yeah. Come you know where I walk with the whole heap of title them for. And the title them make you so dunce, you know. Because when you never had a doctor title and the DLP title, you never saw dunce. You never sound so dunce when you never had a whole title. But fine, you had a title then, Jesus have mercy. It's coming like a madman and junk in post space.
Why do taxpayers have to pay for SSL's criminal operations, quote unquote? How are we being held accountable and not those governing that corrupt entity?
The government of Jamaica will not be in any way taking on any debt of any private institution that has failed. We're not going to bail out any private institution that has failed. We went through FinSAC and we are determined not to repeat that in any way, shape, or form. But the public is also asking that this matter be thoroughly investigated, and the government made a commitment to thoroughly investigate the matter. It is one of those conundrums, because in order for the matter to be thoroughly investigated, even with the FID and with the appointment of a special investigator to deal with this matter, and with the regulatory authorities also supervising. The truth is that we need the staff of SSL to keep the computer systems up and running. We need the staff of SSL to maintain the records. It would be a far more expensive exercise if SSL were to close tomorrow and the staff goes home, and then the investigators on their own having to try and piece together the puzzle. So I think the Minister of Finance found himself in this quandary where, having known my very strong position that we're not bailing out any company, having now to see to it that the infrastructure to facilitate the investigation, which the public would want to see come to some conclusion, that we ended up having to pay for, but only a short time, the maintenance of the staff. None of this is going to the principals of SSL or indeed to anyone who had invested in SSL. This is primarily just to keep the operation there, which is necessary to facilitate the investigation. I just wanted to emphasize that. So my point is, I feel just like how everyone feels in the public, that the principals of SSL or people who invest there, the public is not going to pay for that. But what the public would want to see is that we are able to track and trace and recover the funds that have been defrauded and have it returned to the people who are defrauded of their funds. And that is the cost of actually getting that done.
In short, the Prime Minister is saying to us, if SSL is not operating, we won't be able to do the investigation. We're now going to go to Minister Spurious. Come on, show the JLP them this morning. We're walking and call up Mark Golding name. I'm not a defender of Mark Golding, I'm just a defender of truth and rights. Say, up until now, one can't provide any information of any any PNP politician that is connected to this SSL saga. Now listen to Minister Spurious. Remember the SSL building? When the government tell we say the SSL building freeze all the SSL asset, nothing can do with it, blah, blah, blah. And all of that nonsense. And then we later found out that building was signed over to Vaz children and in-laws and children. Listen to Minister Spurious. A Bill Labor right connected to this on labor rights. Everybody were connected to this crime against the investors and the people of Jamaica. Is connected to the Jamaica Labour Party. Crime that goes back to the 90s. Same people involved in the crime against our financial sector, in their fraudulent behavior, are the same people, again, with their connection to the Jamaica Labour Party in the 90s, and the connection to the Jamaica Labour Party now.
This one, latest malicious, spurious allegation has to do not only with me, but with my children. And that's where I draw the line.
Darrell Vaz rejecting accusations on social media, linking him to the sale of a building previously occupied by...
May I step over the line, Darrell Vaz? Me no love turn up behind line where people cross. Darrell Vaz, so may I step over the line. May I step over the line this morning, Darrell Vaz? Yes, you and your picnic them involved in the SSL crime and scandal. I want to hide whatever I don't need to hide from we and do whatever I don't need to do in the dark while we weren't noticing. So we know there's something going in the dark now. Why on a chop a red herring in our face? Darrell Vaz, you're a thief. You're picking them a thief on a criminal, and your in-law them a criminal. Just like how Anvar's brother left St. Elizabeth can't get rich out of CDF, out of constituency development. Darrell Vaz on a run a racketeering business, and it make them take away your visa. Darrell Vaz, you're a thief. You're a criminal. You're a rapist, you're a murderer. So I don't know what kind of line you walk and draw in at this stand. We step over it every day, you fool.
This one, latest malicious, spurious allegation has to do not only with me, but with my children. And that's where I draw the line.
Darrell Vaz rejecting accusations on social media, linking him to the sale of a building previously occupied by Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL. According to Mr. Vaz, prominent businessman Christopher Borman bought the building from SSL in 2013 and leased it back to SSL, which was already using the building. Borman is the father of Mr. Vaz's daughter-in-law.
He transferred it in 2023. The property to his two children, which includes my daughter-in-law. And all of a sudden, I have been brought involved to say that I am involved on the basis of transferring SSL property to my children.
Yes,
How low can you get?
Mr. Vaz adds the transaction was handled by a law firm affiliated with the PNP president and opposition leader, Mark Golding.
My call today is simply now. Let us see who the true Mark Golding is.
Posty, let me answer you before you even say it. Legal privilege. You don't know that. You haven't been to law school like us, Mr. Vaz, have you? So you wouldn't understand that you can turn away a client without good reason, one. And two, your client is covered by legal privilege. So if somebody in a firm that Mark Golding works with represent the transfer of the property, Mark Golding can come out, come say it. Legal privilege, Mr. Vaz. However, you though, Mr. Vaz, were you in the government and fool no children get the benefit of the transfer when uno for the same government I tell we say nothing will be done with SSL property until henceforth. Is the corrupt crook here, Mr. Vaz?
He would have full understanding and evidence of the transaction, and therefore, as a senior partner, he must come out and tell Jamaica the situation as it relates to the transaction that his law firm handled.
Mr. Golden is not stupid, Mr. Vaz. You cannot set up Mr. Golden to be sued for breaking legal privilege and for breaking the Data Protection Act and all of that. You stupid backup counter. Huh? This is how stupid these people are. Or are they just acting stupid? Or is he just really stupid? It could be
in 2023. Whether it was legitimate or not, whether Darrell Vaz or any of his family members were involved or not, and put all of the cards on the table so that this doesn't spiral out of control as all the other allegations surrounding SSL has.
The issue has
what you should do is handle it honorable and justiciable from the start. Let the investors follow the evidence where it lies rather than government getting involved and preventing and stopping. And then it wouldn't allow us out here to do the investigation on our own. It wouldn't allow us to speculate. We're going to come out and not tell we blatant lie or to mislead we or to misinform we. We're going to continue to talk about all of the thief in money in a one. So if I think on the things that we're going to spend most of our time on the SSL thief in money, at TD alone, we're going to address on a panel, we're going to go back on the JPS money. We're going to go back on the reasons of the Foreign Secretary and the Undersecretary from the War Department visit to Jamaica, Bill Clinton visit, and them something that we want to know about. Andrew Holness involvement in a Donald Trump war against Maduro, and them something that we want to know about. Andrew Holness, billions and millions when collected and sit down pan while Jamaicans lay down in a disease. Andrew Holness, we're going to evict Jamaicans from shelter in the next few days. Andrew, you can't distract me by tomorrow with the back normal. We just have come out and tell you, say, this morning, you can't distract me. We're talking about the people them where evict Andrew Holness after you collect with insurance money and you walk on your big millions. And the people them still lay down in a disease. The people them still homeless. The people them still shelterless and hungry. And that we're talking about. So nobody come with a distraction. It's not going to work this morning. It's not going to work, no. We're not done like Cliff Hughes. We're not silent like CVM. We're not silent like TVJ. We're not silent like RGR, JBC, and IRFM, and CMFM, and all of the FM them in Jamaica. We're not go silent. So don't come out here, come push up SSL in our face for talk about. Gotta go take care of our SSL. We take care of the current thief in one and one. Because I hope money, you know, Andrew, all the money for thief, you know, and you want to get we distracted. Remember the money them, Prime Minister. Remember the money them.
Also taken on a political tone, as Isat Buchanan, an attorney and PNP candidate for East Portland, was seen in the video when the allegations were made.
How did this information get out there? And for what reason is it being used? Where did it surface? It surfaced on a well-known PNP blogger's YouTube channel who has been seen campaigning with the now candidate against my wife in recent months. And the question is whether or not
Leroy address or Darrell Vaz? Leroy Walker, are you addressing Global TV or are you addressing Darrell Vaz?
this is not orchestrated politically for political cheap points.
Mr. Vaz has also threatened legal action against those who put out the misleading information if it's not retracted. SSL has been under heightened scrutiny since a $30 million fraud was made public in 2023. About 200 clients were impacted, including Sprint icon Usain Bolt through his company Wellgen Limited. The investigation is still ongoing. Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.
This fraud goes at the heart of the government. Andrew Holness is involved. Nigel Clark is involved because Nigel Clark knew what was happening. Nigel Clark got a report from Mr. McFarlane. Nigel Clark denied the report when it became public after the fraud. The story of the fraud broke. Nigel Clark denied the report. Mr. McFarlane said, yes, I sent the report. Mr. McFarlane was kicked out of his job immediately. Immediately. Nigel Clark told us nothing will be done with SSL asset while the investigation is going on. We later find out building was signed over to Darrell Vaz's children. The Jamaica Labour Party is at the heart of this fraud. The Jamaica Labour Party hierarchies is at the heart of this fraud. Zachary Harding was an advisor to the Prime Minister. Ryan Strachan, the wealth manager, a G2K member. Croskery had that link from Siaga days up until now. He's still linked to Siaga protege. So when I walk and call out, even if Mark Golding and Croskery are friend, Mark Golding and Andrew Holness are friend too. Did you not know? Even if Mark Golding and the Croskerys are friends, even if they're associated, Mark Golding is not implicated in anything SSL. Mark Golding is not implicated on anything to do with his statutory declaration. He have had it signed off legally every year. When I stop call up the man name, I'm not defending Mark Golding, but when I look stupid to keep forging a connection between Mark Golding and the Croskerys when all the evidence that is in public, the connection is with the Prime Minister, with Nigel Clark, with Darrell Vaz, and a lot of you all. So I don't know the jump and hooting, won't go on pan, won't go sink on yourself further. One of it talk about is tell the Prime Minister, explain the 100 and add million US with SSL drop off in the empty account when open over leaching money laundering center.
Now, the other transaction which concerned me.
Money laundering Prime Minister. It never said Mark Golding when there's nothing that point to any money laundering between Mark Golding and leaching, any money laundering between Mark Golding and SSL. Andrew Holness, though, on the other side, was a personal investor at SSL. Andrew Holness, on the other side, invest a lot of government, lot of your taxpayer money in SSL. What they not talk about. So for God's sake, go pick up a book and read Zachary Hardin connection to the labor right came from his father, who was a JLP Senator and General Secretary. Everything here is JLP linked. What are you all talking about? On the top of the word amount, news carrying, JLP, stop with the news carrying and go and pick up something and read. Because when you start reading, you will find out how stupid you look to everybody on social media. I want to come with these long epistles. When on come and the people comment, when you come in with these long epistles, that doesn't make any sense. Sometimes epistles that you're all defending the prime minister on what? Something that the poor prime minister cannot defend it. Lord Jesus, if you see how they walk and make excuse for the 28 taxi where the prime minister never remember about, then find all sort of reason. If I tell you about the 28 at a taxi, what one of the father prime minister tell you about. That's what the prime minister never remember, you see. Or the prime minister, other father tell we say, no, that done a lie, I tell I never told at 30. And then the JLP them now set ablaze a AI, a this, a cut and paste, we cut and paste it. Then they turn pan Kern Spencer. Then they sue it. You all need to get a grip of yourself. Get a grip of yourself, Prime Minister, and talk to you about the stealing.
Now, the other transaction which concerned me was the one where the account was opened at NCB. It was opened with no money in it. And I didn't know you could open an account with no money in it. A couple of days later, there was a deposit of a little over 143,000 US dollars, which came from SSL. And in the context of the discussions which we have been having about SSL, I believe that the Prime Minister needs to address this and explain how and why that money came into his account from SSL. It was deeply concerning to me, and I'm sure that it must be deeply concerning to all the people who not only lost money, but know people who lost money. And you know, the number one concern is what happened to
Bolt money. I see yesterday Mr. Bolt wrote on his Facebook page, stay focused. Focus, he said, 100%. But I'm not hoping for anything out of all of this. It will be the usual kangaroo court as usual. Like literally the usual kangaroo court. Because going to raid Croskery House yesterday was the most embarrassing show that they've put on. Because what do you expect to find? Or who would have preempted that there's possibly one day that there might be a raid on my house? And you expect Croskery 2 years on to keep the evidence? If it's seizing computer, mobile device, bank accounts, and whatever from the Croskeries, why no? Why no is the question. And the evidence that on arrest Croskery on yesterday or raided or visited Croskery home, when did that surface? When did I find that? Because the last time behind Colmount Parlor, tell we say they are waiting and dotting certain I's and crossing certain T's. Everything is going backwards. And you expect us to jump for glory. 2 years later, 2 whole years later, you want us to have confidence in a justice system 2 years later. 2 years later, you want us to have confidence in a justice system like we're born fools, or like the whole of we in the country a labor right. Jamaica people needs to wake up. We can't make kangaroo kick we round and round just like that. A kangaroo political system, a kangaroo parliament, a kangaroo court, a kangaroo justice system. Nobody have hope in anything that happened in Jamaica yesterday, Prime Minister, or over the weekend. Nobody. Nobody have hope. Nobody, Prime Minister, have confidence in this. So we just have to know, say, we know what the score is. What we cannot put our finger on at the moment, Prime Minister, is what particularly uno try this chap with from. That is the only thing that might puzzle me at the moment, or might be a concern, Prime Minister, to me at the moment, exactly what it is that we not try to steer with Arthur. Because we know, say, this arrest is a distraction 2 years later. Remember, said there was a legal challenge with Clear Crosskey said Crosskey had no case for answer. Do you all remember? You no remember, say one lawsuit buckle there go on, where it did turn out that Crosskey have no case for answer? You no remember? Does anybody remember that? Hold on there. Court ruling that state Crosskey had no question to answer in relation to the SSL scandal. Material Court appeal confirmed sovereign state. Hold on. Hold on. Court ruling that cleared SSL executive of responsibility. In December 2000. No. Not that. Too far. Hold on there. 2023 AUD 2023 court ruling lifted an injunction against SSL founder and former director Crosskey, effectively clear. Hold on. In 2023, a Jamaican court ruling lifted an injunction against SSL founder and former director Hugh Crosskey, effectively clearing him in an initial stage of the Stocks and Security Limited fraud case. Crosskey was one of the several directors named in the Financial Service Commission lawsuit to block asset dealing. The initial injunction against Hugh Crosskey was lifted in April 2023 because he successfully challenged the court order. This ruling allowed him to deal with his personal asset, but did not end the overall investigation into the multi-million-dollar fraud at the firm, which became widely known in January 2023 after Usain Bolt reported over 12.7 million missing from his account. As of recent report, the only person charged in the alleged $3 billion fraud was SSL Wealth Advisor Gina Panton. Another former CEO, Zachary Cosper, has publicly distanced himself from the fraud, stating his hands are free and clean. The Zachary Harding that the police is in search of or sought after now, after they have allowed Zachary Harding to do and go wherever Zachary Harding wants to go. And them take with a fool. And them take with a fool. Backside for true Arlene. A January a 3 year. January come 3 year. For true. 3 years late, Prime Minister. Of course it's a smoke screen. My only concern is what they're trying to push us off. That's why Prime Minister, we're coming back to Melissa, JPS, the $150 million, the whole heap of resources, the whole heap of debt where you take out pan with children, them. We're coming back to all of them something. We just make to know, say, we don't believe one iota. I want to try to push off in front of we. And we're not going to stay on it further than today, Prime Minister. Today, and it done. What we are going to do, we're going to keep our eye on things to see when them are going to tell we say they don't have enough evidence for charge cross-screen. Because we don't say that are going to come next door. We know that are going to come next. But you can't fool with. Trust me. You not go fool with. This is Bartimaeus here. Him is another idiot. He's not even worth paying attention to. He's just a fool. You know what a fool is? This one is one of them. So there's not much time spending on fools. But we know he's a fool, don't we? Andrew Holness, the money, Andrew Holness. So if a smoke screen, you push up in front of it, so we talk about the money. The money. Well, up until now, you can't explain the money laundering between you leeching, Zachary Harding, and Hugh Crosscreen. Jean and Panton tell we say, and Ono tell her for thief. And on behalf, 143 million thousand US dollar Prime Minister. Explain that, no? Nobody can get me walk and denigrate mine here. I'm not protecting or celebrating crime here. But nobody can get me call the youths of the ghetto criminal. Nobody can get me bring down the youths of the ghetto. The youths of the ghetto are a victim of lack of opportunity, or a victim of political corruption. They are victims. So until we can treat the government, the money launderers, and the scammers in high society, then may we accept the treatment for the youth in the ghetto, the scam around the corner there, so. Because the youth, them a scam, the government a scam. The youth, them are the money laundering. The government, them are the money laundering. The youth, them in a killing people. The youth, them and the government in the same thing. So we may go come down hard upon the youth, them, for. We may go come down hard upon the youth, them, and I call the government most honorable. It makes sense? No. Assess it for me and tell me if it makes sense. That thing you all say, equality. It means that all criminals must be treated equal. Even though some animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. But when we start treat criminal equal, then we see the youths in the ghetto, how the rest of society see them. But until then, they are victim of society's circumstances. They are victim of politicians who regularly steal the country's resources and not put any opportunity in place for them to get them upward mobilized. When politicians only need a year to steal and get rich, or work and get rich. And even when they can get rich out of a year of working, them still have to steal. And you don't want me to come denigrate the youth in the ghetto and call the politician honorable? Oh, spare me the thought. All on our criminal. Equality in crime. Equality in justice. Good for the goose, good for the gander. So I hope when you find the youth them in the ghetto a question, you wait until a scam, you wait until 3 years before you go arrest them. Give them 3 years to hide the evidence, destroy the evidence, and commit more crime. Then you can go arrest them. Equality in justice. Whether it be justice or injustice, we want equality in there. Anyway, my peeps, and to everyone in the comment who already start wishing me a happy birthday, which it will be tomorrow, thank you all for your happy birthday wishes. And to Veteran, to Pamela, and to Abina, who have donated to my birthday, thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated. And remember, Marcus Garvey told us, unite or perish. And if you want to see that it is possible to break away from tyranny, look at the Sahel region of Africa, where Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger is really showing that we can do it. We can lead a country without corruption. We can lead a country that the benefit goes to the people, not just where politicians enrich themselves, friends, and family. Elevate the middle class, the super rich class, and dwindle or eradicate what was the middle class, leaving us into all that proletariat working class. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on Global TV. I'm not sure if I'm coming back this evening. My friend's mother's birthday is today as well. And her mother's visiting the UK for the first time as well. So she's having a few of us friends over. So possibly, if I come back on time, or if not, then certainly I'll be back on tomorrow morning for my birthday show. Thank you all for being here with us this evening, this morning rather, on your neck of the woods. Look out for our notification, and if we're coming back this evening, you'll see our notification. If not, tomorrow morning we'll come out in our young 51-year-old self. Thank you very much. good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less roses. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do the righteousness. Hey, we love. I will love Jaja. I will love Jaja. Rastafari, save all people. Hey, we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja. Rastafari, save all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night, we gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Rastafari. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, war and cry. Rastafari, war and cry, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah. And we love Jah. Rastafari, we love all. And we love Jah. Me love Jah. Me love Jah. Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jah. Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.